Hey guys, and welcome back to your daily dose of punk rock brain rot. So, this is a series on my channel called Tales from the Pit, where essentially I make a patch and rip up a story from Reddit, and then I read it out to you. So, this first one is about a punk. Okay. Around 1989, I was a punk teenager with a mohawk who went to a slapshot show at the now long-closed club, The Channel, in Boston. I'm sure lots of you have seen Repo Man and SLC Punk, but just to frame this properly, back in the day, there were lots of understood tribal rules, and I'm sure there are still. Like, being careful you don't have the wrong color shoelaces on your docks, and that you have suspenders down so people know you're looking for a fight. I had some skinhead friends. They would be there. I figured things would be cool. Anyways, I like Choke. Negative FX, Slapshot, and The Channel were always a good time. I was in the pit for maybe half a song when I got my bell rung and saw lights. Only time I was ever knocked out cold, and I still have no idea where it came from. I came to being dragged to a bench by a bunch of skins that I didn't know through the noise. All I could hear was, "We're the National Front and we're here to help you." Oh, the National Front. These guys were not known for being helpful guys. They were known for being neo-Nazi skinheads who would usually be more inclined to stomping a kid with a mohawk than helping them out. I was confused and grateful. If I had been unconscious on the floor, in the pit, I would have ended up badly hurt if it wasn't for these guys. Do you want a cup of water? No thanks. Just kind of dazed. That cup of water materializes. Goddamn, this story is crazy. Later, I found out that there had been some rumor that I was a little brother of a huge skinhead known as Nazi Chris. These guys were apparently watching out for me. I had guardian angels, and they were Nazis. I fucking hate Nazis, but my balls grew 3 sizes that day, knowing that next time I saw bald heads, flight jackets, and red laces and braces down, I would know that it wasn't my ass that was going to get jumped that night. Harvard Square just isn't what it used to be. So true. We're the National Front and we're here to help. No! Oh, that's... Okay, we're gonna go into a Gua story because, oh my gosh, I keep finding really crazy Gua stories. First time I saw Gua was at the Howard Johnson's banquet room. The band that opened for them was called Slaughterhouse. They had 2 girls on stage shaving their pubic hair and throwing it into the crowd, along with other heinous acts. Needless to say, the Hojos didn't allow that promoter to book shows anymore. It was a pretty crazy show altogether. Watching Hillary Clinton get decapitated and fucked by a Tyrannosaurus in green jizz all over the stage kind of puts everything into a new perspective of awesome. Someone replied to this post and said, "Oh, I saw Gua. They were walking around the venue and Odorous smacked me with his giant fake dong." Iconic. Oh, just iconic. Okay, this next one. Wesley Willis back in 98 or 99. I got to meet him and he headbutted me. I had a get out of jail free card in my wallet. He signed it and wrote a song about my hometown. The concert was at a very small local venue. My cousin and I were the only 2 people there from our town. Everyone else was from very far away. Some of these people drove over 1,000 miles to see him. I'm gonna be so for real. I fucking love Wesley Willis and Daniel Johnson and all those guys. Like, I would probably do the exact same thing. He started the show at 8 p.m. and the show finished at 4 a.m. I made a ton of friends that night. Had the greatest time ever. There was one point the show, okay, I think there's a typo here. There was one point at the show when Wesley Willis just stopped playing in the middle of the song. He looked kind of ill, like he was going to pass out. The sound guy came over the PA and said, "Are you okay?" There was silence for about 20 seconds when Wesley Willis finally said, "I have to go to the bathroom." He came back 5 minutes later, and everyone cheered louder than I've ever heard a crowd cheer before. He sat back down and picked up exactly where he left off. After the show, we went to a local 24-hour grease spoon place to grab a bite to eat. Almost everyone from the concert was there. The place was packed solid. We all stayed up all night and told each other funny stories. That sounds so rad. Like, man, it would be so cool to find, like, other Wesley Willis fans, because I don't really know too many. If you like Wesley Willis or Daniel Johnson, leave a comment and tell me, okay, and we'll yap. We'll have a little chat. Really random side story, but I remember this one time I made Daniel Johnson merch. I just drew the little alien frog guy from the Hi Hawaii album, with Sharpie onto a t-shirt, and I had no idea that Kurt Cobain owned a t-shirt that with the exact same photo. So people would come up to me and be like, "Oh, you're wearing that t-shirt like that Kurt Cobain used to wear. Did you get it from Kurt Cobain?" And I had to explain and not sound like an asshole and be like, "Oh, no, I got it from this other, the actual album." I did not make that merch because I wanted to do it in a Nirvana way. It was because I genuinely liked the album and that band, and people kept thinking I was doing it in the Nirvana way, and it really pissed me off for a long time because I have very interesting feelings when it comes to Nirvana. They're not bad. I don't mind. They're okay, right? And I don't mind being compared to Kurt Cobain. Go off. But it hurt me a little bit Okay, hurt's probably not the right word, but you know what I mean. Here's a photo of the said t-shirt. Anyway, so next story. One time at a Terror show, LA-based hardcore punk, I watched the bassist kick the shit out of a bouncer. Terror likes a lot of kids getting on stage and jumping into the pit. Hardcore shows were always pretty as intense as it gets. Getting punched in the face and punching others was just to be expected. It was part of the experience. They just like having people crashing down on top of all of that. Well, the bouncers decided they were done allowing all of that halfway through the show, and so they started blocking kids from getting on stage. The bassist promptly threw down his instrument and jumped to the nearest bouncer and started wailing on them. Of course, the hardcore band beats up the bouncer. That makes so much sense. The next one is seeing Prodigy in Acid might be my winner. They had a background image of one of those red and blue 3D printed images of a few windmills in a field. They had red-blue strobes which altered frequencies at time to cause the image to extrude and look like it was undulating from an intense strobe sensory overload. They also included a massive light system that pulsed out towards the crowd. They were blinding. My mind felt warped for the duration of the concert. It was amazing. Prodigy seems... A lot of stories about people going to Prodigy just like tripping balls. I kind of respect that. I respect that a lot, actually. My craziest concert experience is definitely Gogol Bordello. The show was intense and the crowd was bizarre. Just a huge array of people, ranging from gangster kids to guys who dressed like hobbits. There was even some guy in tight red spandex being chased by security. While waiting in line for beer, everyone started singing Start Wearing Purple. It was so perfect. Okay, so that's the video. I hope you feel like your neurons are severely depleted. If they are, then I know I've done a good job. Don't forget to like, comment, subscribe, and I'll see you on the other side.